NFL divisional round, a plus 100 play for each of the 2 Saturday games. We're on a 4-1 run on our last 5 NFL plus 100s in these videos and went 2-0 in the NBA last night, which we're rolling into a double day 2 for these games. A reminder, the link in the bio of wherever you're watching this will take you to a page that'll load up all the legs to make it super easy. Let's have a day. Here we go. Getting right to it. Dave will go through the one for Bills Broncos. I'll go through the one for 49ers Seahawks. Dave, get us started.
Thanks for sending it, Dre. Taking it to Bills Broncos. There it is. Starting with Bo Nix, 125 plus passing yards and 10 plus rushing yards. Bo Nix has had 125 plus passing yards in his last 31 games, putting up 140 or more yards in all 17 career home games. He's had 10 plus rushing yards in his last 6 games and is averaging over 20. Plus, he put up 43 rushing yards in his playoff game against the Bills last season, and the Bills are letting up the 4th most rushing yards to quarterbacks. Next, taking over to the Bills tight ends. Dalton Kincaid, 15 plus receiving yards, and Dawson Knox, 10 plus receiving yards. First, the Bills are without a handful of receivers, leaving essentially only 3 of them on their depth chart, so we think the tight ends should be heavily involved. Then, we got the Broncos letting up 8th most receiving yards to tight ends. Kincaid has put up 15 or more receiving yards in 12 of 13 games this season with 20 or more yards in all 12. Plus, Knox has had 10 plus receiving yards in his last 12 games, and they also both had more than triple these in their playoff game against the Broncos last year. Let's run it back, and back to you.
Thank you, Dave. Now taking it to 49ers Seahawks. There it is, starting with Christian McCaffrey, 25 plus rushing yards. He has in 49 of his last 50 games, averaging just under 70 on the season. Has 45 or more yards in all 7 playoff games for the 49ers. Expected to run 16, 17 times, 25 yards, and going to Juwan Jennings, 15 plus receiving yards. He has 30 or more in his last 12 games, averaging 43 on the season as the second highest target share for the 49ers this year, and has it in his last 4 games against the Seahawks, 15 yards. Then Kenneth Walker, 1 plus reception. He has it in 38 of his last 39 games, finally getting more involved in the passing game with 4, 2, and 3 in his last 3 games. The 49ers letting up the 3rd most receptions to running backs this season, and he has it in all 8 career matchups against them with 2 or more in 7 of those 8. And then Cooper Kupp, 2 plus receptions, has in 14 of 16 games this season, averaging just about 3 on the year. The second highest target share for the Seahawks, a clear wide receiver 2. He also has in his last 2 matchups against the 49ers, who are letting up the 3rd most receptions in the league this season. A guy with a bunch of playoff experience, should be involved for 2 catches. And then the 49ers to win or lose by less than 22 points. They haven't lost a single game by 20 or more points this season, coming off beating the Eagles. These 2 teams just played, came down to the 4th quarter. Could have been a 1-possession game in the 4th quarter if that ball doesn't tip off of Christian McCaffrey's hands for an interception. Kyle Shanahan, so much playoff experience. Brock Purdy has showed up, he can show up in the playoffs. Not going to say they're going to win, but to lose by more than 3 touchdowns, if they do, then respect to the Seahawks. There it is. That's the one that Dave went through for the early game. That's the one that I just went through. Hopefully, a great day of football. Really looking forward to these games. And then the games tomorrow are great as well. I'll talk to you guys